road might have to run?
So from coming 5 feet off of Anderson, and I did this with a roller, I got 517 twice and 520 another time. Yeah.
Well, that's fine to this line, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, I didn't know where the line was when I was doing it. So, I mean.
Oh, so the road line is roughly 500 bucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on where the drive at. Well, yeah, probably 500 for that house. All the way back.
Have you looked at specs of the road, blacktop, or
there's a lot of gray area there with the talk of annexing and whatnot. I'm not sure what the law or what the board wants to do with that. So these fronts now, we'll go over these front two lots are coming off Anderson.
yeah.
Essentially, that's what we
But I mean, I'm assuming the road right metal access all
Yeah, the road's the dotted line through the center. It's already allotted for as an easement for mechanics.
While we're waiting, if everyone is silent for phones, please. Remove your hats and stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you like to get us started?
Sure. So you have in front of you the Partnership Park County 2025 Impact Report. We just want to express our gratitude and your support into Partnership Park County. We are beginning our 12th year, if you can believe that or not. This report just kind of gives you a little bit of history of Partnership Park County, which I'm sure you're all very familiar with. Some things that we're working on, goals that we've set for ourselves starting in 25 through 27. Those being more intentional with business retention visits. We will continue to work on child care and housing and continue to work with the Regional Sewer Board of Trustees as kind of our larger projects across the county. I will point out, and I apologize that this does not get page numbers on it, but you'll have what we kind of call our report card that looks like this, that talks about categories of projects and the dollar amounts in each of those categories. So for talks about grants regarding planning, business, brownfield, housing, infrastructure projects, and then jobs retained. So we're very happy to report, over the past 11 years, we've been able to bring in $33 million of investment into Park County on the projects that we've specifically worked with. So on the next page, you will see over those 11 years, that $33 million of investment, for every dollar being brought into Partnership Park County as a nonprofit, is resulting in $32 of return of investment in your community. So we're very proud of that. And again, just appreciate your support. Hope that's something you'll be able to continue to do and rely upon us for help that you may need that we can. Just here, if there's any questions on anything. I think you're all pretty familiar with what we work on. I'm sure nothing is a surprise. Thank you. You're welcome.
Carla is running. She's at another meeting.
She's right there.
Oh, all right. Well, come on in, Carla.
Yes.
Walked in.
Here, Carla, you can have this chair.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice and warm for you.
You ready for me?
All right.
Okay. I am here tonight with the cyber liability policy renewal that renews February the 9th. The good news is the premium is the same as last year. At the first several pages of the coverages, which are all the same as last year. I will remind you that there is a $5,000 deductible per claim for cyber events. The premium is on the next to the last page, kind of the back side, which outlines the premium at $9,575, company fees of $545, and surplus lines tax $253 for a total of $10,373. Which the only increase, there was a $45 increase in the fees. It was $500 last year. So I was happy that the premium did not change on us. So we do have until February 9th to accept the proposal. I think you have another meeting before then, but it's up to you. Questions?
I'll make a motion to accept this.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much. Liddy, can I get your signature accepting the proposal?
No.
Please. Thank you. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you.
And Mr. Nickel, I got a text from our attorney just before our meeting. He has asked that we table it. Your attorney apparently reached out to him and had some other conversations he wanted to have. So I'm guessing we'll probably readdress in 2 weeks. And perhaps your attorney will have more information as well. Some other folks are here. You're welcome to stay with us. All right. I do not see Jim. Is somebody here for Jim? Bill?
I don't have anything tonight.
No? All you.
I have a few things. Work orders, we had 11, locates 18. Last week we did have a water leak. Saddle rusted off the 2-inch water main over on Elm Street. Was able to, the emergencies can get that located and fixed last week. We had to replace the 6-inch check valve out at Lily Creek on the the fire protection, and so we just finished the sewer at Ace Hardware is completely done. They were about filling at 3:30 when I left, so that is all done and taken care of. We have been working on the street lights on 41. We still have a few more to install. I went down with Brett today, and even the ones that we got 4 of them that are out that are being replaced. So we're not going to fix them. The light to fix it is $500 and some. So if something would happen, one of them would fall, that'd be another $500 we're out. So, but there are 2 or 3 others that need repaired, and he's going to at least fix them tomorrow. And we're just keep on it. We're down to about 7 lights, and we'll have all of them replaced that we bought last year. And I'm waiting on a price and timeline on the ones we're wanting to order this year. I thought we'd get a price and send it to you guys before we move on and actually purchase them, so you know what we're doing. So other than that, then next week we are going to finish Strawberry Road. UMAC will be here tomorrow. They're going to bore a service line under the new road so we don't have to dig it up. So hopefully we can get that finished, and then we're going to continue working on Lincoln Road lights and trees, and everything. So, and then we'll be moving toward the firehouse as soon as we're done Strawberry Road. The only purchase request I do have for tonight is I don't believe we ever approved for the 120 water contract of $9,900, and we need to it's due.
Motion or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I emailed it to you guys about a month or so ago. It's basically we send all our information to this, and they document it all. They take care of all the state, keeping us up to date, keeping us on track of what needs to be done each year. We got about another year or so with them, and then we should be.
Is this our 3rd year with them?
I believe so. So we're just about to the point where another year or so we won't need to. They can offer schools, education. They help Tim out quite a bit. So, but I did send that all to you. We just never did ever get it. We need to get it approved. So.
Is there a second? All in favor?
All right. Thank you.
Need this to sign.
I can print it on that. Yeah, she probably needs to sign it. I'm sorry. I think it was on the back. And I believe that's all I have.
And since you weren't on the agenda, I kind of went on by, but you guys can go ahead if you.
Oh, okay, I thought we were on the last week.
Maybe you sent it back. So
You did.
I just forgot to put it on.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
I'm
I almost
apologize.
called and I was like, we're on it already. We're good.
I'm gonna make a note and put it on my next folder, so, but yes, my apologies.
But you guys, we handed out the survey for the Virginia Street project there for the dead end of Virginia. So they went ahead and got their survey done because it sounded like the last board meeting was fairly promising that we might be able to proceed with the project. So you see the 9 lots there. What did you guys say the drive was going to be 30-foot wide?
They're 30-foot wide.
They have it marked as 30 foot.
They have it marked as 30. I don't know what the standard is as far as like a road in town, if it's 20 foot or.
Most of ours are 20.
Okay, so they allotted for 30, but we can back it down to 10 and whatever parameters you may need.
We're supposed to get.
There is.
10, but there's
30
feet.
there's 20 foot road, and then you have
Okay,
sidewalks.
so there's 30 foot there.
Yeah, so you should.
Yeah, so hopefully we're in good shape there for what you may need. I think at this point, our big questions are going to be, the sewer, the water, the street, and the availability to maybe annex and join that into Rockville here. So for us to move forward, there's some questions there. If you did annex, would the town put in the sewer, the water, and the road, or what's the process here, and what are you guys' thoughts moving forward?
My thoughts are we're not going to annex you until it's done, but I'm one of 5, so.
The
Yeah,
way,
I would like it annexed in because we can work with you guys. If we don't annex it in, we got to go work with the county and then come back to you. So.
Because it's all county.
Yeah.
The way that
But
they're-
we got to work with both because we're trying to get the utilities. Yeah, we're trying to get every place, and obviously I'm selling it as a bonus point, but Rockville water, Rockville sewer, Rockville electric. Yeah. There's not going to be any gas there. Yeah. So.
and the way that they're projected to build is 2 houses, sell, 2 houses, sell, 2 houses, sell, or, you know, get them ready, so it's not such an overwhelming project. So we're trying to get, you know, 2 houses done, so if we don't annex to the end, that's hard for them to sell. I would think it would be harder to sell, because now you've got property owners within that project. Instead of dealing with one customer,
What's your average square footage of the house?
The house?
We're between 1,800 and 2,000.
Yeah.
Is that single level? Or?
Yeah, single levels, 3 bed, 2 baths, with a garage.
But that could be fluid too, because if somebody comes to us and sees something's going on over here and wants a house built, they could, I mean, what do you want? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
so we can
yeah.
sell lots.
And that back lot, we've talked about putting a 2-story in that back lot,
Yeah.
it's so big. We may put a 2-story back there, I don't know.
Yeah, we're just trying to, you know, they fronted the money for the survey, so now we've got to get architecturals involved for houses and whatnot. So we're trying to do it in stages, so if something holds us up, they're not out, you know, all this extra money to try and develop this. So we're trying to give you guys what you need to look at, hopefully, and maybe get some approvals going and get started on it. Yeah, because lot 1 is ready to build because all the utilities come from Anderson. And lot 9, once the tenant that's in lot 9, the old double wide that's there, they leave in April. So we'd like to start with those 2 houses now, if we can get the approval that, yeah, you know, come get your permits, we're good on those while we're figuring out the rest of it. So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We just don't know where the town stands. If you guys want to put in the sewer and water, and or how it's going to work.
No, I'm not interested in doing that at all. I mean,
So after the fact, if we put in the sewer and water, the town's okay with maintaining it after we sell these lots off, or they sell the lots off, of course.
well,
I'm working on the specs that'll be given to you, what we would like for the sewer main to be taps and
And the
all that.
water,
That
okay.
way, if we do go to annex it, we know you put in what we're at.
That's
So we're working on that, and then I'll take this to Brett
okay.
tomorrow. That'll give him an idea. Are these houses all 200 amp services?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be
So
electric.
that'll help
yeah.
him. So I'll take this information and try to get something as soon as possible to you guys.
Cool.
On what we want.
And as far as what we add coming off of here, the front 2 lots should be able to hook into what was already there.
Yeah,
It's going to be
everything
7.
there.
It's going to be 7 lots that are going to be getting, you know, added or whatever. So
Yeah, 'cause there should be 2 water sources already,
2 water.
Yeah. Lot 1 and 9 has
Yeah, I
sewer
believe so.
and water.
Yeah, I think so. So that should those 2 should be there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to get us.
I'm trying to get you guys some specs as soon as possible, and this will help. Plus with Brett getting what electrical costs and what we want there.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go from there.
And we do want the transformers out front.
Yeah, that's
Easy
what we
access.
talked about. Yeah, along that easement
Yeah.
there. Makes sense.
Yep.
Is there anything else?
Anyone else have questions?
I mean, I think, like Dave said, the original thing was we thought for you folks, it would be easier you do it, and when it's done, we annex. For us to annex first and be under our control may require more stuff and legal opinions and from before BZA, you know, zoning, a lot of other things too. But in the end, my feeling, you know, the development is your responsibility, which you said you're willing to do, to have everything up to specs and the code on any utilities and infrastructure, so that the 2,500 people in Rockville don't subsidize the development. You know, that's just part of whoever's buying the lots that they're.
Yeah, we just
share.
wasn't sure how this process would work.
So then it all gets, and so it can be done either way, but there's time and bureaucratic things, and so that just gets to be, again, the last thing was we thought, you all do it, and then we annex you in. It's most straightforward, but there can be some negotiation on that, but I think we're all, Dave said what he said, and again, I feel like you all have to
Right.
bring it into spec on what you do, so I think we can work it out, and I don't care which comes first.
Do you think we could annex each lot as the house is finished? Then we could annex lot by lot, maybe? So there's not that weird gray area of dealing with different homeowners? That's the problem I think we're gonna run into.
I think it's all one piece.
That's a question for our attorney anyways, but,
Yeah.
I don't know if we could do that, I don't know what,
Sounds like-
I wouldn't want to do it like that, because you might have two people on one side saying no way, and two people on the other side saying, yeah, that's my fear in not annexing first, is we get 5, 6 of these lots built.
Yeah.
They're going,
Two
we
people
don't
want
want
to.
We don't want to be in Rockville. You know, I mean, we want to be county.
We wanna have an LP tank.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a Nick question, if you
Yeah.
can reach out.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was, you know, it'd be a lot easier for us just to have you guys, you know.
Or maybe a contract, every lot's within a contract.
I think there was some mention of like maybe a memorandum of understanding that once they were done, they would be annexing a
Yeah.
contract, something
When
like that.
someone buys a house, they know it's a disclosure letter that you sign this, because it's gonna be annexed when all the houses are done.
Right, yeah.
Okay. I think that answered about everything I had. You guys-
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? Okay.
I guess, as long as it's in the county right now, I guess we don't really have much to say about it, but I would like to see, you know, some of the blueprints that you guys are looking at. I mean, just.
I got some in the truck. If you want me to run out and grab them,
No, I
can
mean,
bring them to you.
it doesn't have to be nice. I mean, I'd like to have something I can look at.
Yeah.
At my leisure.
Yeah.
Just to see what you guys are looking to build.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're having some prints drawn up right now for some other projects, but they'll probably be fairly similar. The Rockville Road lots, that's what I'm having prints drawn up, and we're gonna try and utilize a version of those to try and control cost.
Do you have a ballpark on what the cost's gonna be, range or?
Retail or what it's gonna cost us? Retail, I mean, it's gonna be hard for us to pull this off if they're under 250.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the higher the costs go, the harder that'll be. You know, we're not looking to build $500,000 homes, but, you know,
But
national
they're
average is
gonna be
like
nice houses.
418, and it might be somewhere in the 300 range, yeah.
Just don't know.
Yeah,
We've met
yeah.
with Wheelers, and, you know, their range was 280 to
315.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard, it's all over the place. And Rockville hasn't had a ton of new houses going up, that you have comps.
Right.
You know, you've got 50-year-old homes that have sold, and that's your comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's kind of new for Rockville right now. I'm building 2 myself, they're looking at 9. You know, it's 11 new houses in Rockville coming up, and,
Nice.
yeah.
They
so-
need it.
Yeah, well, that's what she was saying, Cindy.
Yeah.
You know, that 200 new homes need to be built in Park County in the next few years to support growth, a certain amount of growth. So, I mean, we're just a drop in the bucket for the 200, but it's a start. But,
All right, thanks.
yep, okay. If you guys need anything, someone's got my number.
Bruce, do you have anything?
No, nothing, waiting on quotes, so, I know Mike said the guys working on the wells this week, but, and I think they're supposed to finish up Friday, but I don't have any details on it.
Okay. Shannon, do you want to?
I have claims for $523,613.76. So it's gonna have, if anybody has any questions on them.
Questions? Is there a second? All in favor?
I apologize about the minutes last time, but did y'all have a chance to review the December one, the 15th? I think I sent it out right after the last meeting, so I have those ready if somebody is ready on those.
Corrections, conditions? Motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
The amended salary ordinance, if you will, it just addresses the 2 positions that we spoke about in the last meeting. So all that is those two making the corrections to those wages. I'll go ahead and do it again.
Motion to approve.
You approved the changes, I just have it on paper now.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I've kind of been carrying over the handbook, that those changes and suggestions were kind of rolling in. I sent out that last revision, and I haven't heard anything back from anybody for a couple weeks, so I don't know if we're ready to act on that, or if anybody's still looking at it. New Focus isn't, they're not in a rush, it's just a matter of when we're ready and everybody's had a chance to approve. And I know there's been suggestions sent in, and I forwarded that to the company, so those changes have been made or updated.
Are you good, Bill, and Doug?
I lost one I looked at, I believe is okay.
You heard anything from Jim? Hasn't he reached out?
I think he was, yeah, he was sending something.
Do you want to move on it, or?
I say we do.
You can always amend or change it if you find something that's in error, at least you've got something.
Sure. Okay.
I move to approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll change the date on here. Probably will be a February, maybe a February 1 date, but I'll ask her and we'll make sure we get that correction.
Does anyone have any old business? The only thing I had was, the park board was interested in a few more benches at various places, and I spoke to the Veterans Service Officer, and he said, do they have to be on a cement slab?
So yes, sometimes not, they don't have to, if they want them, we can do it.
And the other question was, would you maybe be able to help him go and get, I forget where he said, I'll find out.
Yeah, as long as you're okay with it, we can sit back and
Okay.
send somebody with a truck, as long as the board's fine.
Because he had originally wanted one near the Veterans Memorial. It's got to do with veteran suicide, and it promotes calling that number. And it went to the park, so we wanted to put one there. They requested a movable one at the dog park because they like to follow the sun. I think we can find some other spots for them, so.
But yeah, we can go after, as long as the board's okay, I can drive it wherever,
Okay.
once he gets with me, and
Okay,
I'll let you know where we're headed there.
all right. Somebody have a problem with that? The benches are free.
That's what the park board wants.
Okay. Anyone else have old business? New business? We do have some open seats. If anybody is interested in filling any, we've got one on the cemetery board, the stormwater board, and the police commission. Want to take theirs? We'll keep looking.
Would you like me to?
As far as the police commission, where are we at with the members of politics?
Kevin is a Democrat.
We need an independent or a Democrat?
That would be our wish. That would be our wish. You make the best effort.
Would you like me to go ahead and?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Any public comment? Got anything? I would entertain a motion. For second? All in favor?
Aye.
Did we do and talk to us afterwards about just
That was my
questions?
understanding. We would
Okay.
just meet after this meeting. And then next time.
Is that No, and I didn't send any changes out because I just found out at the end of the day that he wasn't going to be here, so it wasn't, I that if you are here participating. I mean, I still think you can have that conversation with the council on what suggestions that we need to make amendments to help maybe provide what the Nichols requests are. So I'll let you guys make those comments to the council and then talk to Nick about it too, if you want.
Well, I wanted to service, Pastor Charlie Jones, Home Church, he attended a pastor's meeting. All the pastors of the county got together, and it was concerning. I thought I'd bring it up that they had a record number of people this last month in December using the food pantry, and we noticed a lot of them were senior citizens that are people over 65 retired on fixed incomes, and that he got to get the figures on it, and he said over what it came to about 27,000 meals were passed out in 2025 here in Park County alone. I was like, what? That sounds like 10 times more than I would think. And I just had a suggestion that people over 65 that are retired, I'm turning 70 myself, and people that are on fixed incomes in retirement, and I was looking at percentages of increase from what he was receiving last year to this year on Social Security, doesn't stay in pace with the utilities of the city. City utilities are outpacing them, and that it's going to cause problems with the food pantry and things like that, because people we're in an economic downturn right now with especially with the prices of houses. I mean, I remember 27. I've been here 27 years. And you could buy a house for $25,000, and they're talking $315,000 a house. And then I was hearing about wanting to expand the gymnasium in the park, in the gymnasium, put all that millions of dollars in that, expanding that. I was thinking, well, we're losing our young people because they can't afford to buy a house or even rent an apartment. Actually, average apartments, $800 to $1,000 a month. And our younger population is decreasing. Our older population is losing money, especially with the price of gold. 10 years ago, gold was only $1,080 an ounce. Now it's $4,800 an ounce. That means $100 buying power 10 years ago. Today it's only $25. That's why your grocery bills are so high, and that's why these seniors on fixed incomes are using the food pantry, extensively. And my suggestion, trying to figure things out, is instead of putting too much on expansion on schools when your population of schools are going to decrease, invest in or find investment like Norval Pickett did back in the 70s for Brazil in finding subsidies for future infrastructure, creating job creation. And that would be a good answer to have something to keep our young people here rather than let them have to move to Avon or Indianapolis. And if you look at the chatter that's going on in these towns, a lot of these people are commuting 60 to 100 miles just to go get a job that pays decently, that they could even make it. And all the young people I know
are all still living at home with their mom in the basement. And it's awful. So it's something to consider, even a little step like giving, or giving, I was talking to Jerry Hill down in Vermillion County, he owns like 3,800 acres. The government gives him the subsidies to maintain his property tax, you know, on increases. And I know the tax on property is not your department, that's the county. But they need to use the utilities and the property taxes for people that are on fixed incomes. You want to keep them here, or keep them at least not losing their homes. Utilities and things like that to stay in pace with increases with your Social Security increases. Because if you outpace that, they're going to go forward. That's my suggestion. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so my turn. Okay. Well, we have a couple of concerns because we're the BZA, which grants variances for the ordinances that we have before. And Planning Commission, a lot of us overlap, and so we don't really meet on a regular basis. And I don't feel like we've talked to you guys about, when I was recruited, Steve gave me the comprehensive plan for the city, the town. And so I went back through that. But we came upon a request for a variance that was not addressed in the ordinances. And so based on the ordinances we had, we said we wouldn't recommend for what's called a tiny home, which is a thing that's going up in other towns. But our square footage is right now, the smallest you can have is the size of a house trailer.
Which is 900?
960.
Okay.
Yeah. And the tiny house was 590.
590?
But we agreed to go with the other.
Yeah. And so when we told them that we were the stewards of this ordinance book, then our recommendation would be to turn that down, because it wasn't like within 100 feet.
Right.
But we also feel like it needs to be addressed, because that's going to be an issue. Our elderly people don't want big houses. They can't take care of them. Or they just don't want them. So we kind of need something to...
Probably know the ordinance.
Yeah.
And then in the discovery process, we found out that there is R1, R2, R3. There's different single-family dwelling where sanitary and water systems are installed and utilized. The smallest lot is 9,000. And there's lots that, many lots that if a house burns down is not 9,000 square feet. So basically they can own the lot, but based on the ordinances, they can't rebuild because it doesn't allow for that to happen.
That definitely needs to be changed.
Yeah.
So what process do you want to do? I mean, to update, ordinances and all these things. I mean, they need looked at and re-looked at. I mean, do you need legal help? Do you need technical help?
I
Do
think
you
we
need
have
regular meetings? What do you need?
I think maybe we need legal help because we need to make sure that we're doing it right. But again, in Mr. Nichols' case, he doesn't meet, his house isn't there any longer, but based on the square footage of it, he can't even build a home on that. And Voorhees Street is another street that has smaller lots, and if something were to burn down, or they couldn't reconstruct there.
Well, and there's another burned house in Mr. Nichols' neighborhood that was a multi-family apartment.
Yep.
That's gutted right now. So, I mean, it's going to come up. So I think part of it is you guys are the elected officials, and we want your vision. We want to extend your vision for the town if we agree with it. Otherwise we can take sides, I guess. But we want a unified vision. And when you look at our demographics, we don't change a whole lot population-wise. People move in and out, but it's usually a lot within the county. And there are a lot of older people who are just aging into that 65 and older and may not want housing. The young kids don't want big houses, I don't think.
a question about his lot? Is it a rectangle, is it square, is it kind of a pie shape?
It's pretty much square.
Okay.
It's on the corner.
And how many square feet is it? It's, 0.15 acres, which comes out to 6,534 square feet. So if our minimum is 9,000, we're 2,500 square feet off. So there was a home there that was bigger than what he had before.
No, it's the same, it's 950 that we got.
So you're looking for us to come up with some figures to have you
Yeah.
change our ordinances?
Yeah, could you just repeat the numbers again?
Sure. Right now, the lot that Mr. Nichols has is 0.15 acre, which calculated out to 6,534 square feet. And he's R2, right?
Yeah, that
neighborhood
is R2.
It's actually 11,000 square feet is what that lot is supposed to be to build on. And these came out of the book. We can get you copies of what we were given that day.
I suspect if you did a good analysis on your subdivision, you would find out that most of your subdivisions in the town, not just your smaller parcels,
Correct.
but your subdivisions were platted out much smaller than what that represents.
I would agree with that.
Olive Court is much smaller per lot than Salem number.
Well, and does the building permit stop that automatically? Who writes our building permits?
Well, Cody was, I don't know.
I used to know, but.
I don't know what.
Well, I also think
He still
smaller
does.
than where to start with.
Yeah, Heifer.
One I told you.
What's the ordinance on adding another story to the house,
There's square footage.
another bedroom up there to add to the square feet to, equal what their minimum requirement is? Is it ordinances against?
I mean,
For each level.
Well-
More than one story.
Saying
Yeah.
it changes.
Figure out what an average lot is and what story.
minimum, and same with the size of the house.
I know my dad built every house in Olive Court that has brick, all the entire subdivision. And I'll admit, those lots were small. I couldn't believe they put houses that size in such small lots, but people don't like to mow yards now.
There's a house on Borden.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, the northeast corner of Rockville, parcels are 7,200 square feet. And so, those parcels aren't big enough to build on either.
So just in general, I mean, kind of the vision, I mean, to me with Rockville, we need to, the city itself, we want to encourage, I think we want to really encourage residential development wherever we can. With that, how things were done in the 60s is much different now, and we have to change and update.
Right.
The technical detail, just like keeping up with expense and everything else, keeping that maintenance of your ordinances is important, but it's tricky, and so you need legal help and you need technical consultant. And so I think we're going to have to reach out, whether it be to the Association of Cities and Towns or towns that are doing development well, and or legal help. I mean, we need to reach out to them, kind of see what works elsewhere, not reinvent the wheel. But you look around, I mean, you can do you can do very dense, residential stuff if you got your ordinances right, where you're paying attention to parking, to transportation, whether it's foot or car or whatever, where people can, have access in and out, your utilities, your sewers. I mean, it all fits together. You can't just do one thing. Or we can fit a house on the lot. I've got a 4,000 square foot lot, and I only want a 700 square foot house. I can fit it, but what about garage, parking, and your neighbors, where's all that? So it's just getting all that right. And I don't have an instant answer, but I mean, as a board, I'm willing to do what we need to do to get you technical help and we work with you.
Yeah, and I'm willing to put in more hours, but I'm retired.
But we gotta protect what we've got, and you wanna make it
Yeah.
where it's not just, the thing I have with variances is always, what do you do next? Because none of us live in a house forever, and our
Right.
time in it is short, and a variance that works for one person at one's circumstances, if it's got fundamental problems, and whether it's foundation, whether it's utilities, whether it's parking, then it becomes a problem for the town to straighten out after the fact. So I'd prefer to have better ordinances and fewer variances. That's a general thing.
I would like, more plain spoken, or, give a reason why that ordinance is that way, without having to, dig deep and go investigating. We need it on-hand information. But I also think Rockville is a place where we have a lot of elderly, we want them to feel safe and secure. So I think we're gonna have to deal with the size of houses at some point. Not just, at the time, house trailers were probably all the rage. And so but they were not a house, so that's why their square footage was the minimum. I don't know.
So are you guys looking to, I'll just throw this out there as numbers, they don't mean anything, but like Steve said, let's say you got a 4,000 square foot lot. Are you wanting to have basically a minimum or a maximum house? I mean, like, if you got a 4,000 square foot property, you can only build a 900 square foot home. If it's 5,000, you can go up to,
Well, I think that's what you're saying about utilities, right? If you're gonna use utilities, you can't build a huge house on a small lot.
I mean, that gets us back into the variance thing where if somebody has a lot this size, and they wanna put, this big of a house on it, it's gonna look,
So
you're gonna
the
have this
size
much
of the
property,
lot.
that's gonna be an issue.
What you're talking about is prefab homes, that's what John's talking about.
Right.
Prefab.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they need to communicate with the prefab builders that what your ordinance limitations are, small and large to square feet, and maybe they'll build the right, make them a little bigger just to fit on certain lots, and offer that. That would be a suggestion.
If it leaves the board of BZA, I would try and reach out to, I start with not the association and municipalities, but I reach out to them and see if they have any person that could work with us on that, and see if I can find some options for technical assistance or.
Well, and it seems like that's gonna be a
talk to.
problem.
I mean, if we just start discovery, like you said, we start the discovery process to see what's out there, maybe there's something that is more adaptable for us.
I mean, it may be that it's graduated, if you have 4,000 square foot lot or less, you can do so much. If you go up to 6,000, you can do so much. You get to 10,000, then it can be anything over that. Again, you just get into different things. I don't know how other towns deal with it, but I'm sure somebody has.
Well, and then the other thing was, we were told by, legal, that Montezuma as a town does not permit tiny homes, and Marshall, Indiana, which is unincorporated, I don't know, is it incorporated?
It is incorporated.
Okay,
Council.
they don't permit them, but I didn't get an explanation as to why.
Maybe it's because their ordinance reset.
It could be an old ordinance, who knows?
People are wanting to live in smaller homes. I recently was out at Rocky Ford, and it's packed, and they have a waiting list, and they just want a small pull-behind trailer to live in, and there's no empty lots out there, people, all year long.
Barndominiums, they call them.
Yeah.
Tiny houses,
or
mother-in-law houses, whatever, that people like to put separate from the family, but on the same property.
Another thing I'd like to address is what kind of ordinances about burning leaves. I know that when one person in the neighborhood starts burning leaves, they stick up and makes it terrible, so you can't even breathe, you know, and causes sinus infection. My wife went to the hospital over it, had sinus infection because the neighbor was burning leaves. I don't think that really, that if they invade your airspace, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. And another thing, burning leaves has been known to be carcinogenics that are terrible for your health, plus vaping, and we have a vape shop now in Rockville. Vaping, now all the statistics show that it does cause cancer, and there should be some kind of ordinance about teenagers. I see them vape all the time, that they shouldn't be allowed that, just like.
They're not supposed to buy it, I mean,
They're getting it though. See them everywhere.
Did you find our?
So burning leaves can be done between 6 and 4 p.m. prevailing local time on any day, so long as such burning is no closer than 10 feet to any sidewalk or paved area, so long as the burning is attended at all times by someone 18 years of age, and so long as the burning does not create a health hazard or nuisance. Can't burn on Sunday.
Well, what if they're burning and it's polluting other people's property and causing health hazards? What do you do?
Before we get off, does the BZA have anything, or you, I mean, we're here,
I'll try.
yeah, I don't want to, I appreciate their patience, but.
Yeah, because that gets us off topic, but, I mean, we really feel like it's gonna come up again, we wanna be more prepared, and we need to address our elderly in town. I mean, I think part of Rockville's charm is a lot of those little houses. Families start there till they outgrow it, but the ones on Voorhees and some on Jackson are small. But not as small as people are learning to go now, so, yeah. We need some help.
And this modification.
If you're willing to check with them.
I don't guarantee I'll send out some inquiries and see what I can find.
Certainly ask Nick to do some looking to see what else he can find. Or even if we could have a joint, like, with Montezuma, Marshall, I mean, I don't even know who the people are doing that. I know Kevin Stewart's still on Council in Marshall, and Darla Burgess. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Darla. Yeah, we are adjourned.
One last question. For the last 3 years, my wife and I have been riding e-bikes around town. We were the only two. And here just this last year in the fall, I've seen about 7 or 8, and even one little child is riding one that goes about 45 miles an hour, pulling right out on 41. And I thought, I even told him, I said, don't do that. You're going to cause Rockville, down in Rockville, to make an ordinance against the e-bikes. E-bikes are going to be illegal to drive around unless they have a license plate and driver's license. I was wanting to know, what is the current ordinance on e-bikes that travel under 20 miles?
I think we have one right now. Probably another update.
Because they're going to be a lot of them. I guarantee it. It's coming. It's already in Indianapolis. You can walk down the sidewalk with about 100 bucks flying up and down the sidewalks. Good point.
We're adjourned.
I've heard there's some changes, I just want to,
There's no changes in discussion about. No action or anything. Preliminary. I was supposed to count the president first and then.